Bella Vista Community Television presents Bella Vista and Beyond. Today, our host is Mike Cleary, and we will be talking about Beautiful Lives Boutique. And now, to the program.
Hello and welcome to Bella Vista and Beyond. I'm Mike Cleary and I have a guest this morning, Melissa Carter, to talk about the Beautiful Lives Boutique. Tell us about what is the Beautiful Lives Boutique all about?
Thank you so much, Mike. Beautiful Lives Boutique is a nonprofit women's thrift boutique that has a mission to help support and empower women who are facing situations of crisis, both in our community and also around the world.
Wonderful. Now, how long have you been in business with this beautiful boutique concept?
Yeah, the story of BLB, as we call it, is a really fun story, and it's actually grown a lot in the past year or so. But it began back in 2016. It was founded by a woman named Melody Taylor, who had such a heart and a vision for supporting women who were facing just lots of different challenges at the time. And so she founded it in 2016, and that was in Fayetteville. There was a store there on College Avenue in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and then that store recently moved to its now location on Township in Fayetteville. And it was just about 1 year ago that our Siloam Springs location opened, and then the Bentonville location opened as well. So we have 3 locations right now, and we also have 2 online shops. So there's a lot happening at Beautiful Lives right now.
Great. So you have 3 locations, Fayetteville, Siloam Springs, and Bentonville.
Correct.
You expecting to have any new shops open beside the online?
Yeah. So, obviously it's been the craziest time right now, especially with COVID-19, and the pandemic has presented a lot of challenges with retail, clothing and accessories specifically. And so that's why we pivoted, and we now have this e-commerce option for folks to shop from the comfort of their homes. But yeah, it's also a kind of an interesting time to be thinking about planting new Beautiful Lives locations, but we do have some things in the works. Our first out-of-state Beautiful Lives will be coming sometime soon, and so I'll be a little bit mysterious right now, but I would just encourage folks to stay, watching what we're doing on our social media to find out more about that.
Now, I noticed you brought some items. Before we talk a little bit about these items, tell me about the boutique itself. What is its purpose?
Yeah.
What does it service for the public?
Yeah, so the vision behind Beautiful Lives Boutique is really that in many ways, women historically and traditionally have not been as seen, and they have some really specific challenges that women experience and they face, and that contributes sometimes to a lot of just that it has an impact on the entire community. When you have women in your community who are really experiencing crisis or challenge, that can really have a long-term impact on the health and wholeness of our communities. And that's why we're so passionate about women. And so we have a pretty broad focus with the women that we support, and we do that by supporting 10 nonprofit organizations that are working directly with women. So we have a lot of fun with fashion, and we have these stores where we try to have really affordable clothing at great prices, but the mission is so that we can take the profits from the sale of this clothing, and we give that in monthly contributions to 10 of these nonprofit partners. We have 6 that are local to Northwest Arkansas, and then we have 4 that are international. So wherever we can, and whenever there's an opportunity, and whenever we have the funds, we just do our best to try to engage with those organizations that are doing such great work. So we have, right now, we're supporting organizations supporting women who are facing incarceration, who are at risk for homelessness, women who have experienced sex trafficking previously, mental health crisis, just general issues with poverty. So we we want to just try to meet women where they are and just provide as much support as we can.
Mm-hmm. So when people shop at your boutique, they're helping with some of these women's organizations that
exactly.
Assist people. Give me 1 or 2 of the ones that are primary that you assist in the area.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the organizations that we support is an organization called Hub of Hope, and they are working to address sex trafficking that happens here locally to Northwest Arkansas. And we also have some organizations that we support, one of those being International Justice Mission. They are working internationally, obviously, and so we want to try to tackle some of these issues at both the local and the global level. And I think it would surprise some folks to know that the issue of sex trafficking does exist here in our community. And so I appreciate so much the work of that organization to do education and advocacy around that. And they're also working with women who have directly experienced it. And so we do support by providing those monthly contributions to their programs, but we also, whenever they have a participant, someone who is in need of their support, they can bring that woman into our store and they can shop with us and get clothing, because we just really believe that that when you feel well dressed and when you feel like you have access to clothing that just it can really just help change for a woman, especially if she's had a situation of crisis. It can really just help to elevate and honor and beautify and dignify someone who's maybe had an experience that did not feel dignifying. So we love to be able to give that clothing as well as part of that process.
Yeah, you brought some fabulous items.
Thank you.
Here. Are these new items, or are they repurposed that somebody has donated to your organization?
Yes. So what is amazing to think about when I think you look at these gorgeous clothes is that every single piece of clothing that comes to us has been donated generously from the women in Northwest Arkansas. So I always love to say that the women of NWA are so stylish and so generous. Sometimes we can't believe the clothes that come through the door that they're just giving to us freely. And so, yeah, we rely 100% on donations.
Well, that's fabulous. Tell me a little bit about some of the items that you brought here. I mean, did you pick out some of the more elaborate items, or is this just typical what you have in your boutique?
Yeah, this is a very typical a layout here of the types of clothing that you can expect to shop at BLB. So again, the women who are donating clothing to us, I'm just amazed at what they bring. And so we also have some stylists on our staff who can help women come in. If you've never shopped thrift before, you can come in and we can help assist you with that. So we had a stylist here pull all of this together, and I think some of your female viewers will be able to see that what we're offering is really current and on trend, and it's a sustainable way to shop as well. When you shop thrift, you get to repurpose something that had been used previously, and so we do accept any brand of clothing. It's not necessarily that the brands are much more elevated, although we do have some really high-end brands. We really just try to curate our donations for items that are really good quality, that we know that will last for a long time for our customers.
So how do people get in contact with you if they want to either support your organization or if they want to donate some items?
Yes. So the first thing is, if someone's active on social media, we are very active on social media. So you can find us on Facebook or Instagram, and we encourage you to shop your local store or to donate to your local store. So you would just go to @BeautifulLivesBentonville or @BeautifulLivesFayetteville or Siloam Springs, and you'll be able to find a lot of information on either Facebook or Instagram. You can also send us an email at hello@beautifulLivesBoutique.com, and we do have a website that is beautifullivesboutique.com. So we're out there and we're very active, and so just reach out in whatever way is easiest, and we'll do our best to get in touch.
So they can get the addresses of your businesses from beautifullivesboutique.com.
That's correct, yes.
And also they can just carry some items in the door
Absolutely.
and then walk out with something new.
Yes.
Like these gray boots. Everyone in the studio
He's
has
loving the
been
boots. Yeah.
loving the boots.
Yeah, and I love this clutch right here. So yes, that is an ideal scenario. So anyone can drop off donations at anytime the stores are open. So most of the time that's Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. And people ask us a lot, like, do I need to bring it in on hangers, or how would you like those donations? And we tell folks, like, just grab a trash bag. It's so easy. Grab a trash bag, go to your closet, fill everything up, bring it to us. We'll sort it. And if it's not something that we would be able to use in our store, we will donate that on to other organizations, nonprofits in the area. And then we'll steam it and get it all prepped and ready to go inside of our stores. So
Okay.
easy to donate.
Now, you have obviously a staff of people.
Yes, we do. We do have a staff that works with us. You know, the nature of retail is that we're open 6 days a week, and so we do have staff who help us just keep our operations running. But a big portion of what of the operational support that we get is through volunteers, and so we love when women will come and volunteer with us. In fact, right now we are looking specifically for regular weekly volunteers. So if there's a woman who maybe has a little bit of extra time and could commit to coming into our store, we think it's a really fun place to meet other women. It's a great community. Volunteers do earn store credit as well, and so we would love to talk to anyone who would love to volunteer at one of our locations.
Yeah. So they can volunteer and they get a discount on some of the items as well, and then they're helping a wonderful
Absolutely.
charities.
Yeah, I think that you can have a sense that you're getting to volunteer, you're getting to be with a group of women who are passionate about our community and passionate about women, and you do, like I said, you get some store credits. You could go and shop some beautiful clothes like these.
Right. I noticed that you brought some jewelry. Is
Yes.
that the bling? You have a whole department of just blings going on?
Well, yes. If someone loves to clean and organize and separate jewelry, that's always a need inside of the stores for sure. But yeah, and what's really exciting is we've just flipped all of our stores to our fall inventory. So we've had great volunteer support because we had 2 entire storage units full of clothing. I mean, just gorgeous clothing that we brought out, and we have just been prepping to go on the floor of our stores, and our volunteers have just been so vital, and they've gotten sneak peeks of the clothing as it's come out. So it's a really, really fun place to shop, place to volunteer, place to be.
So you're shifting to your new fall line. Do you have
Yes.
somebody that's like a fashion coordinator that's doing all the layout?
Yeah, so we have actually we have such a talented staff of women that I'm so proud of. We've got someone who's got experience with us at Nordstrom's, and she is our merchandising manager, and so she's helped us kind of get everything rolled out and changed for the new fall season.
It's great. So they can contact you through your email.
At hello@beautifulivesboutique.com, or if they just want to send us a message on either Facebook or Instagram, or some of our social media coordinators can pass that information along to
Yeah,
me.
because I'm sure people are doing a lot of home cleaning,
Yes,
organizing,
yes.
and they say, what am I going to do with some of this stuff?
Yeah.
Let's swap it out for
Yes.
something new and improved.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you've been wearing those clothes for, the past 10 fall seasons and you want to update, bring us the clothes you've been wearing, and we'll put those to good use in the community, and then come in and shop our stores. Our average price point for our pieces is $3, $5, and $7.
Wow.
So you can
Wow.
get these clothes at a really affordable price. And so we just think that it's a win-win. You get to support the community, and you get to be outfitted really stylishly. So we love it.
And the women in the charitable organizations appreciate it, I'm sure.
They do, yes. And I think, like I had referenced before, we're also working with an organization called Saving Grace, and that is helping young women who would be at risk of homelessness due to having been a part of the foster care system previously, but now they're adults. And we're starting to have shop nights for those young women to come in and just get to choose whatever they want inside of our stores. And women come in all shapes and sizes, and we get the opportunity to outfit all types of women, and they get to find things that they really love and connect with, and that make them feel beautiful and confident.
That's great. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with Melissa Carter after we have some of these announcements.
We will be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Here is our host, Mike.
Thank you for joining us at Bella Vista and Beyond. Our show is recorded in Bella Vista Studio, and if you're interested in assisting in any way, we love volunteers to help with the studio or the camera work, set design, helping out with hosting shows. If you're interested in volunteering, contact our station at Bella Vista Community Television. Also in Bella Vista, we have a couple of activities going on in September. On September 19th, it's a Saturday, the Highlands Free Cruise In and Car Show. It's at the Highlands United Methodist Church from 9:30 in the morning until 1:30 in the afternoon. It's on Glasgow Road near the Highlands Golf Course. There's no fee to display, just classic and antique cars, and it has lunch on the grill. So come on and check out the Highlands Free Cruise-In Car Show on Saturday, September 19th. And also on Sunday, September 20th, is the Raptor Gravel Grinder. I'm not sure about gravel grinding, but it's at Mount Sequoia in Fayetteville. Has road cycling, off-road cycling, and running events on Skyline Drive. If you want to check that out, look at runsignup.com for the Raptor Gravel Grinder on Sunday, September 20th. We're going to bring back our guest, Melissa Carter, who is with the Beautiful Lives Boutique and some of the items that she brought. Many people in our studio are oohing and eyeing.
Yes,
you mentioned before that these are very, very reasonably priced items.
They are, yes. So everything that I've brought in today and most of the things that we have in our store is going to fall between $3 and $10. And so you can come in and get some really amazing current fashion for a really affordable price.
And all the money goes to charitable organizations.
That's exactly right. Yes. So we donate all of our profits to organizations supporting women in our community and around the world.
Now, how did you get involved with Bella Vista, the Beautiful Lives Boutique?
Yeah. So I was working for a few years for the U.S. government as a United States Foreign Service officer, or U.S. diplomat is a little bit the more common term. And that was a really just, obviously, as you can imagine, a really profound and impactful experience for me. I was pretty young, in my early 20s, and got the opportunity to be functioning at a high level of government on an international scale. And so throughout that experience, I worked both in Washington, D.C., and also overseas at the U.S. Embassy in San Jose, Costa Rica. And throughout that entire experience, I was really focused on a lot of human rights work that is not typical of a diplomat's career necessarily, but I just had the opportunity to really focus in on some overseas refugee assistance programming from Washington, and then when I was in Costa Rica, looking at a lot of things like sex trafficking, again, gender-based, anything related really to gender-based violence. And it was a profound experience for me to really see that in communities that are developing or perhaps underdeveloped, when you have a lot of gender-based violence or you have women who are marginalized in those communities, you can see that the entire health of the community is affected. And I just really know that from working at that level, at that government, that international government level, that when you go into a community and you start to resource and empower women and you address issues that really meet some of the needs that they specifically are facing, the entire community will prosper and benefit from that. And so I am a woman, obviously, but I also, I don't think that focusing on women is simply just kind of a feel-good factor or simply just because I personally am a woman. It's because I've seen that it is really the most strategic way to help elevate and lift entire communities, men and women, when you go to those women, that group of people who's been historically marginalized or disenfranchised. You get to, when you bring them back in and you meet some of the needs they're facing, it's going to change everything for everyone. And so that's why I'm so passionate about it. But we moved back and brought our family to Arkansas. My husband and I have 3 children, and about 7.5 years ago, we came to Arkansas to have our oldest and to get to be near family. And so that stayed with me, obviously, for a long period of time. And so when I found out about Beautiful Lives and I found out about the work that they were doing, I was actually approached to help lead the opening of the Bentonville store before I became executive director, and I just couldn't say no. I was getting ready to have my 3rd baby, and I still said, sign me up, because I'm so passionate about women. I just believe so deeply that their health and well-being is representative of the health and well-being of our whole community.
You've been involved in humanitarian organizations for many years.
Yes.
And when you were telling me about some of these organizations that you help in the Northwest Arkansas, I was surprised and shocked at some of the things you were talking about. In Northwest Arkansas, there's even sex trafficking going on and other abuse. I mean, we've heard of course, domestic violence and domestic abuse, but what other organizations are focusing on some of the issues in this area.
Yeah, so I had mentioned during the last segment about Hub of Hope, and they're really looking at sex trafficking, and I think it's easy to have a perception that that's something that exists internationally or out there, but it does happen in our community, and it looks a lot of times like a forced prostitution type situation, and but there is hope. You know, these are really hard, difficult issues to think about and to talk about, but what's so exciting is that there are just these powerful champions out there doing really incredible work, and people can be a part of that a little bit by shopping at Beautiful Lives Boutique, and they can learn from us some of those other organizations that are doing really important work in the area.
Now, you also, besides being with the boutique, are also a keynote speaker or a focused speaker whenever some organizations need someone to talk about some of these human rights organizations.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a privilege. Like I mentioned, you know, I had this very unique experience early on in my career of getting to work as a diplomat on behalf of the American people, and just advancing U.S. foreign policy and talking to other governments about what our values are as Americans, in terms of just that democracy and caring for people who are in crisis or vulnerable. And so I'd love to share about that. I think it was really neat. I've got so many stories I could tell you. I have some things that I got to see and do, and I also I love talking to students about that and letting them know that, hey, there are opportunities that exist, and even, you know, sometimes if you're in Arkansas, it's you might just be focused on kind of what's around you and what you can see, but there are a lot of opportunities out there for our students to get involved at an international level as well, and so I'm always excited to get to share some of those things, and just talk about my passion for human rights and for people who are vulnerable.
So you have volunteers at your boutiques. Have anybody other than yourself experienced some of these firsthand situations where they've noticed someone's life was changed by what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite stories is we fund a nonprofit called Tangible Truth that focuses on helping to provide and increase access to mental health services. And that's was founded by a woman named Susan Goss. And one day I was just there at the Bentonville store, being busy as always, it seems like. And Susan brought in a woman who had directly benefited from we were able to fund a scholarship for this woman to go have some very intensive counseling services after a very difficult abuse situation that she had experienced. And just to get to talk with her and hear about the freedom that she was feeling and the restoration that had been brought about in her life was just very powerful and profound. And one of the things I love is that at Beautiful Lives, you know, we make it known that this is our passion and our mission. So we get contacted by so many neat people who are doing a lot of this work as well, and we get to hear their stories and learn from them. And so for me, it's a dream that we get to convene people who are passionate about human rights, passionate about women, and have really fun conversations. And hopefully, in the not too distant future, we can have more events and things like that inside of our store and gather women and talk about some of these things.
Now, don't talk a little bit about your personal life. I'm going to
Yeah.
get involved in your personal
Yes.
life. Both you and your husband are from Arkansas,
That's
but
correct.
because of your diplomatic and your State Department traveling, how
Yeah.
did they feel about coming back home, basically, to Arkansas?
Yeah, so working in the Foreign Service is very similar, I think, to the military, where when you become a U.S. diplomat, you will change your post about every 2 to 3 years, and so you're moving a lot around the world. We actually had an onward assignment to be serving in Morocco when we made the very difficult but right decision to come back to Arkansas, plant some roots here, have our family here. I was pregnant with our oldest daughter, who is now 7.5, and it's been fantastic. Like, for me to be able to support human rights work at a local and international level while getting to raise my family with my family is such a dream. And Northwest Arkansas is just incredible.
So you're not the manager, you're the
Executive director.
Executive director of 3 boutiques, is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
Plus you're a public speaker and keynote speaker at some organizations that would love to do that. Are you involved in any other activities in the area as well? I mean, like you have a full schedule already.
Yes, I do. Yes, it does feel like a full schedule and a dog in the middle of all of that as well. So, yeah, so we're also very active in our church. We attend a church called New Heights Bentonville and love to get to serve there. And in fact, Beautiful Lives Boutique in Bentonville was really brought to that town because of the Church of New Heights Bentonville wanting to bring that ministry to Benton County. And so we love to get involved there and excited that we'll be resuming some normal services, in-person services again soon. And that keeps us busy for sure, but it's fun.
So people get a hold of you through your website?
Yeah,
through,
absolutely.
You said Instagram? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, so we have our 3 different Instagram accounts, at Beautiful Lives Bentonville, and then at Beautiful Lives Fayetteville, and at Beautiful Lives Salem Springs. And if anyone wants to get in touch with me, you can just send a direct message through any of those. You can also email hello@beautifullivesboutique.com, and we'll get it to the right people. So.
Just another accolades for some of these items that you brought. These are all used and donated.
That's
It's
right.
Fabulous stuff here. I mean, it looks like it's new.
Well, yeah, and the truth is yes, a lot of what people bring us has been well loved and worn previously, but we're amazed at times the things that people drop off in our stores that are brand new with tags, and we just try to be really great stewards of that people would entrust that clothing or those items to us, and so we're just so grateful for the community's support because we couldn't do what we do if we didn't have these women just so generously donating.
That's wonderful. So you have items that's donated, you have volunteers.
Yes.
So if anybody was interested, they can contact one of your 3 locations or online as well.
Absolutely. So if anyone is interested in volunteering, we would be so thankful to have you because we have so many clothes that we really do need help processing those clothes. And so you can just contact the social media account that's closest to you, your local store, and say, hey, I'm interested in volunteering, and we can get you connected to the right people. We have some great volunteer coordinators that help folks just find out what it is they're interested in, they're passionate about doing, and we try to make use of those skills and talents and interests in our stores.
Well, I appreciate you being with us, Melissa, this morning, and thank you for telling us all about the Beautiful Lives Boutique.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I wanted to close with a quote from Robert Kennedy, which I think is kind of pithy to this display that we have here. Robert Kennedy said, "There are those who look at things the way they are and ask why. Mm-hmm. I dream of things that never were and ask why not." Yeah. That pretty much sums up your life story, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
Appreciate you being with us, Melissa, and thank you all for tuning in to Bella Vista and Beyond, and we'll catch you next time. I'm Mike Cleary. Thank you for tuning in.
Remember, you may see this program on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at various times. You may also view this program on YouTube.com by going to Bella Vista TV. This has been a presentation of Bella Vista Community Television. Thank you for joining us.